Hello, I am the real-life fake wizard. Today, I'm going to discuss Borderlands 4, Randy Pitchford, and grifting. Grifting is a very common word thrown around the YouTube zeitgeist. Unfortunately, most people are using the word wrong. Let's begin by providing the actual definition of grifting. To grift means to engage in petty or small-scale swindling. Okay, well that seems simple enough, but what does swindling mean? And then I promise we're gonna connect it to Randy Pitchford. Well, swindling is the usage of deception to deprive someone of their money. Put all this together, and grifting or to grift implies that someone is using inherently false information to get money or resources out of you. This is a term that many content creators get labeled all the time. Oh? You didn't like the new Star Wars? You are a grifter. Except, no, that's not grifting. If the person explains their true opinions, and you disagree with those opinions, that doesn't make the initial presenter a grifter. If that original presenter is, in fact, lying, perhaps manipulating their audience to foster emotional reactions, then yes, we could argue that this person could be engaging in grifting. But they're not really selling you anything. You see, grifting, by definition, is found in transactions. And I'm here to tell you that Gearbox, Take-Two Interactive, and Randy Pitchford are grifting on the entire video game industry. 2024 saw the release of the Borderlands movie, and it was not very good, like, at all. Part of me thought that this might leave a stain on the Borderlands legacy, especially with the CEO of Borderlands developer Gearbox shooting his mouth off on Twitter for people criticizing this pile of crap film. Fast forward to 2025, and we're getting the release of Borderlands 4 on major consoles. Personally, I'm not the biggest Borderlands fan. I've platinumed 1 and 2, but I've not played 3 or the spin-offs. I'm good with the first 2. Now, as channels like myself and others have covered, there is a lot of controversy with the pricing of video games right now. Nintendo used Mario Kart World like a Trojan horse to bump up their games to $80, and Microsoft quickly announced their game prices would be matching at $80 soon as well. The Outer Worlds 2, coming later this year, will be the first of many Xbox first-party titles to be $80 in the United States. Let me interject by saying, not a single video game is worth $80, and you shouldn't buy any of them. I won't be. If that means I miss out on a lot of crappy, modern AAA games, I'll live, I guess. But that brings us back into Borderlands, and a bit of a controversy that Randy Pitchford stirred up in reply to a fan on Twitter that was saying they hoped the upcoming Borderlands 4 would not be $80. Randy replied with one of the worst replies you could imagine. Quote, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school, working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. This is ridiculously tone-deaf, and he'd have been better not responding at all. Randy, I don't care what you paid in 1991 for your video games. That was over 30 years ago. Times were different. It was a different world. And for heaven's sake, 1991? You could still get the McPizza at McDonald's. I don't want this video to hyper-focus on the $80 price tag thing, but simply put, I don't believe a single video game today is worth the $80 asking price. I don't think the value is there. I believe most games are the same old, with just enough minor changes and updates to warrant a new edition. But most games are the same experiences as before with slightly better graphics and a fresh coat of yellow paint. Not a single video game today should cost $80. And yet, Randy told us that he doesn't have jurisdiction on the Borderlands 4 price tag. Well, I guess that's true. Publisher Take-Two Interactive would be the ones to dictate that price. Pitchford and Gearbox are just the developers. Fast forward to this announcement. Hooray, everyone! Borderlands 4 is only $69.99. Quote, I am so stoked that Borderlands 4 is $69.99 and not $80. I am so stoked we're not doing any paid early access stuff and moved the date earlier to September 12th. I am stoked that we are planning a ton of awesome DLC. Randy is stoked, you guys, aren't you? It's only $70. That's a steal. We're getting Borderlands 4 on sale. I'll take 6 copies. Okay. $70 is the norm for AAA games. I don't really care for that either, but sure, okay. I'm still not going to buy it, but I can hear you now. Wizard, where's the grift? Good question. If you buy the $70 edition on day one, you get the base game. That's it. If you pre-order any of the editions, you get some day one cosmetics. If you get the deluxe edition for $100, you get the base game plus DLC missions, cosmetics, and unlockables. And if you love Borderlands that much, you can drop $130 for the Super Deluxe Edition, netting you the base game plus even more DLC content that should have come in the initial game. Now, before I eviscerate them for this pricing model, let's be clear. Not all the DLC will be available on day one, but some of it could be, as we see in the fine print of the Borderlands website. You remember how stoked Randy Pitchford said he was, that the game was $70 and not $80? Okay, well, they're charging $130 for more content. So you're still paying almost double for a handful of DLCs that are promised for the future. Wizard, Borderlands did this with Borderlands 3. Why is this an issue now? Good point. In 2019, Borderlands 3 released with 3 editions, but the pricing on those editions was, I don't know, perhaps more reasonable in hindsight. $59.99 for the base game, the deluxe came in at $79.99, and the Ultimate Edition at $99.99. That $100 edition included the base game, digital goods, and a season pass for the first 4 DLCs. From Borderlands 3 to 4, the base game has increased almost 17% in price. The mid-tier deluxe edition is up 25%, and the Ultimate Edition has gone up a whopping 30% asking price. It's a Borderlands game. It's a looter shooter. If you played the first one or the second, you kind of know what you're in for. Do these games deserve to charge 30% more? That's the question. And the answer, perhaps, is in the eye of the beholder, but I said they were grifting, didn't I? And I believe they are. They're parading around like they're offering you a real steal of a deal by putting the base game at $70. But it's more or less the same kind of experience from 2009 or 2012, and that steal is still nearly 17% more money than the last time. And because of the controversies around the $80 games, they get to pretend like they're white knights of the video game space by offering their game at a perceived discount. But they're still going to hit you in the DLC. They're still charging $130 for a more complete edition of the game. And that's not all. There will be lots more DLC to come, as there usually is with Gearbox games. Typically, each DLC on its own costs anywhere from $10 to $20. If we're considering the 25 and 30% price increases here, those additional DLCs could be jacked up to $20, $30, or $40 US, although it's hard to predict. Now, wait a second. Maybe you're a lifelong Borderlands fan. Maybe you don't care about this stuff and you're gonna buy it anyway. Are you gonna get the collector's edition? No, not the $130 one that I've been talking about. No, there is a $150 physical edition that comes with some toys, but doesn't come with the game. That's right. The collector's edition for $150 US does not come with the game. You need to purchase the game separately. So even at the lowest caliber, you're spending $220 for the game and some collectible toys. This all actually gets worse here. There are some predatory data harvesting practices that Take-Two is engaging in that we will talk about, but let's be super clear here first. This company is charging lots of money for their products. They are not doing you any favors. Charging $70 for the base game is not to your benefit. It is exclusively to theirs. Do not believe them. Do not believe Randy Pitchford when he says how thrilled he is to be putting their game out at the median price for AAA video games. See, that's the grift. It's misleading. It's not entirely true. It's not the full truth. It's positioning of information to make you think one thing while they're doing something else. It's like magician's misdirection. And it's not just Gearbox and Take-Two that do this. They all do. All the gaming corporations do. And we need to, as gamers and customers, to start calling this out. You're not charging $80 for the base Borderlands 4 because you know how disgusted the buying demographic is with $80 games. Also, let's not forget $80 games is just the United States. Games are way more expensive in other countries with other currencies. And not a single game is worth that money today. Gearbox ain't doing you a service. They're trying to make you feel soft. Okay, so what about this data harvesting thing? What's that about? Well, Take-Two Interactive made some updates to their end-user license agreement, which is another way to say terms of service. And you basically agree to all of these terms of service by playing and installing their games. Now, based off the new EULA, Take-Two can collect your real name, usernames, emails, addresses, phone numbers, device IDs, IP addresses, age, gender, purchase history, content preferences, credit card numbers, browsing history, hardware specs, chat logs, GPS location, passwords, and even private chat content. There's plenty more here, but this is scary enough. Now, you might say, hey, I don't want Take-Two getting my browsing history, because then they'll know how much time you were spending looking at all the sexy mods for Stellar Blade. You could go ahead and say you reject these terms of service, at which point they can disable your access to the game you bought. Many people online are calling this a form of spyware, as they are trying to gain root access to your critical data. Why should this company get access to all this data? That's a good question. What are they going to use it for? There's nothing good that will come from any of that. And at this point, as of the recording of this video, Take-Two has not rolled back any of this. They want all your data, and they're going to get it if you buy their games. So tying this together, Borderlands 4 is coming out in September. It costs almost 17% more than its predecessor. The other editions cost 25% and 30% more than their predecessor. The company is positioning itself like it's doing you a favor while charging you more money. And they're sneaking in data harvesting. What a great bargain, am I right? My friends, this all goes back to the greater issues at hand here. This video and lots of the other ones I've done on this channel will ask you the same thing. At what point is enough enough? Like, at what point do we all wake up and start saying, yeah, these games aren't good enough for all of this? Yeah, maybe they are overextending. They're over-asking. They're asking for too much. At what point do you care? This is just one example of countless of video game publishers delivering less while taking much more. Remember when they said going digital was going to make games cheaper? That never happened. And now we find Borderlands 4 costing $130, where $60 of that is entirely digital content. In 2019, I thought it was insane that they and many other companies would offer $100 editions with DLC included. That felt unreasonable then. Now, it's just absurd. If you are upset by these circumstances, there are two things you can do right now. Number one, don't buy it. Don't buy games that don't earn your investments. Plural. Investments, plural. You see, these companies need to earn your money, yes, but they also need to earn your time. And if they haven't earned both, don't give them a cent. Let them starve and burn. The second thing you can do is support indie games. Find them, buy them, tell your friends about them. The sparks of the AA gaming age could be upon us, but it's up to you, it's up to us to showcase and find these games. I, myself, will do better at showcasing games like this in the future here on this channel. So until then, create, innovate, inspire. And for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Okay?